friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. That's me. I'm she. She's her. We're here on Thursday, January 20th. All right. Guess what? We're going to do a tweet 25 today. It's going to be a tweet show because I have meetings all day. I've had a really fucking big day. I can't tell you guys even why, but just a big day of meetings that are going okay. They're going okay. I don't know how they're going. Sometimes you don't know until you're on the other side of it. I'm not on the fucking other side. I don't think I'll be on the other side for a couple of years, but planted the seeds. And then I'm meeting with Winston after this. I had 2 big meetings in the morning. It's a whole fucking thing. And here she is. I am she talking about all the things that you guys care about, especially the nerd shit. Batman. Batman. The Batman, the actual movie is 167 minutes without credits. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes and 47 minutes. It's 2 hours and 47 minutes without credits. 2 hours and 55 minutes with. That's fucking crazy. Not mad at it, but we will talk about it. Also, Hilary Duff talked about what actually happened with the Lizzie McGuire revival. I've been wondering about this for a minute, and she confirmed exactly what I thought it was. And I'm also really obsessed with seeing her back on my TV screen with watching How I Met Your Father. And Hilary Duff is having a Renaissance. She's having a Hilla Renaissance, and I'm here for it. And I've been watching a fuck ton of TV. So I finally finished Too Hot to Handle, which we were supposed to talk about the War Girls. We didn't. I'll talk about it here. I have 10 minutes left in the most recent episode of Peacemaker, which is fucking awesome. And I have decided that those opening credits are the best credits of any show ever. They're so fucking good. I watched Boba Fett, which was probably the best episode of the series. I'm going to take out probably. Was the best. I like the second one a lot too, but it was the best episode of the series so far. And then for some sultry sap, I watched This Is Us. Yeah. I love This Is Us. You can't make me stop watching it. You just can't. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. The question of the day is 2 hours and 55 minutes, including credits, is 2 hours and 55 minutes too long for any movie? Let me know. Streamlabs in, super chat in. I'm not talking about for this movie. I am saying for any movie that comes out in 2022 is 2 hours and 55 minutes simply too long. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. That's not me leading you to an answer. I have thoughts on that, and we will discuss. But get that in. I want to start with you guys at home. Thank you, everybody, for being here. She bows to you. It's hard to bow when you're sitting. Can anybody bow when they're sitting? Curtsy. I guess I could curtsy easier than bow. How do you, me in my chair, bow? I guess I'm already so hunched over that it looks like I'm bowing, but I'm not. Cheers to having the perfect fucking tea, by the way. Perfect temperature. Perfect tea bag. This is French vanilla. Thank you, Bigelow. They didn't send it to me. This isn't a fucking sponsor, but I love me some tea. And I want to share with you guys what I'm drinking. So let's talk. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Everybody who is here today, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Raise your hand if you pay your taxes quarterly. So a quarter of your taxes were taken out on the 18th, or at least a quarter of your federal taxes. This girl, I looked in my account today. It was chilling in the red. I had to do some renegotiating. I was like, oh, I did not fucking check that out quick enough. Oh boy. Anybody else out here a quarterly payer? Any of my quarterly payers? I forgot that they were just going to fucking take it out. And I was like, where'd it go? Oh yeah, to the government. Can they at least fill the potholes? Probably not. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. In here last night. No, it wasn't really last night. It was yesterday. But I'm confused. It was yesterday. Did I not do a show yesterday? Oh, right. Because of the World Girls. Yes. It was a fun show on the World Girls yesterday, though. But yesterday at 1:41 in the morning, so it was really like Tuesday night, Christian Hardesty said, Hey, Rox, watch How I Met Your Father and really enjoyed it, but referencing your dying on Hills talk from before, I will fight for all of How I Met Your Mother, including the finale. What, Christian? The finale is the worst. The show is amazing. The finale is atrocious. Don't really have any counter argument other than I love it, but I don't care. Wow. You do you. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. That's great. Paul 3JP yesterday at 1:43 said, Fam, How I Met Your Father was great. I feel you. Cheesy, but a solid throwback with some much needed updates. Totally. Maybe I'm biased because my client is involved, but people really are funny. I thought so too. Unless it's, and I'm not biased. I have no clients involved. It's got blue lasers or a superhero. Oh, unless it's got blue lasers or superheroes, they write it off. I don't know if that's true because people are obsessed with fucking Station 11. Just not understanding why everybody's. The show is super solid, but the best show on TV? What? They can kiss my ass, lol. Oh, but that sounds like you, Apollo. Apollo said also the Duff is cute, no doubt. But Valentina, absolute baddie, supernova nuke. Is Valentina, is that Franzia's character? Let me know. Glenn Caesar says, hello and good Thursday, Roxy. Sending well wishes and peace, buddies, hugs, and good stuff to you, your dad, Jet, Sky, Grammy, Papo, and your family. Be most excellent to yourselves and each other, RJ and Rockstars. Be you always and in always. How are you, Roxy? I am hustling every day. You're hustling. I'm like really fucking working my ass off right now. And I'm staying the course. I'm doing my shit and I'm getting it done. And I'm trying to do every area of life. I'm taking care of my grandparents and I'm figuring that shit out. I'm working on my finances, figuring that out. I'm trying to stream everywhere and really dedicate to the World Girls and working that shit out. I am very much so starting to get back into this dating game. That's fucking been wild. And the acting stuff, I am recording in the next couple of weeks. I'm recording new voice over stuff for something. So really excited about that. Just really fucking working my tits off right now on excelling in every area of life. Oh my God, Steph left the app already. Can you lose this? Oh, let's ask her. Yeah, she was not happy with it last night. She was not happy. Oy vey. I'm going to ask, did you leave the app? Laugh. Steph's not, it's not her strength to be patient with this kind of thing. I don't think so. We'll see. Maybe it's not for her. It's definitely not for everybody. I don't even know if it's for me, but I'm definitely I am not a try something for one day kind of girl. I'm definitely implement something into my structure and see how it works. Kind of girl. So yeah. Oh, she talked about it on SEN. Interesting. So I'm working on it. I'm definitely trying. I'm trying to try it. Thanks for the question. Glenn Caesar said, how are you, Roxy? Hopefully you're doing and feeling good and are working on something that feels good. But to be sure, you the fucking best. You the fucking best. I'll take it, Glenn. Thank you. He also said, may we imagine lots of golden sparkles of love flowing into us, especially our chest and throats. This is the chest and throat. As we breathe in, definitely some boogers. In, breathe out all the yuck energies. Hope lots of yellow sparkles and green sparkles fill Roxy, me, and the rock stars for happiness, joy, and healing. Thanks, Glenn. Logan James Canaston. Roxy, thank you so much for recommending Promising Young Woman to me. It's so good. I watched it earlier this evening, and I can't stop thinking about it. Carey Mulligan is an absolute fucking powerhouse. She is. Do you have any more recommendations? I'm walking Monster next. You never saw what you said? Never saw Monster? You know, it's my favorite performance of all time with Charlize. Ah, wow. What kind of movie are you looking for? And then I'll see if I can rec something for you. Yeah, what kind of thing? I keep hearing that I need to watch Coda, so I'm going to do that, but I have not yet. Glenn Caesar said, yes, 2 hours, 55 minutes is long. Definitely when you're sitting in the movie theater, watching at home, on refreshments, bathroom breaks, etc. is a different story. I can do some binging when I'm watching at home. The Book of Boba Fett episode 4 is great to me. Glenn, everything's to you if you're saying it. I say that too, though. Thank you for the Streamlabs and the support coming through. Don't forget, guys, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, as our amazing moderator, Jake Yakavetta, reminds you, and super chat in. Let's see. Kenula says, gave her an anxiety attack to be out there like she was. Okay, so she's off. Yeah, one day's not enough. I know. Yeah, she really did. She like last night, she was very, very stressed about it. So yeah, it's interesting because she talks about she doesn't like to. This is her story to tell, but if you're saying she said it on SEN, she doesn't like to like put her shit out there, but it's kind of what we do for a living. It's so different than her family though, and what everybody else does. So for me, I feel like it was a much easier transition because my dad was a rock guy and like not that he put his shit out there because he wasn't talent, but he saw the worst of the worst. And yeah, I don't know. My mom was very casual about shit. So I don't know. But I feel for anybody who doesn't want their life out there and this is the career that they chose because that is some tough ass shit. Let's go into some of these topics, but don't forget streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's talk a little bit about this Batman movie and the length. So 2 hours and 47 minutes of film, 2 hours, 55 minutes with credits and everything. Listen, I'm not going to, if you told me that there was a 5.5 hour Batman movie, I would still fucking see it. I would still be fucking stoked. And I'm tired of us having to say release the blank cut because they've had to whittle it down so much. So, what a 2 hour and 55-minute movie guarantees almost is that Matt Reeves was able to make his creation that he wants. Now, it doesn't guarantee it completely because, of course, the studio could have added some things that he didn't want and things like that. But in general, his story was not chopped to pieces. We're not watching a 2 hour Batman movie where he lost an hour of stuff on the cutting room floor. So that's what gets me excited about it, that this is probably the vision that Matt Reeves wants us to see. I really trust him as a director. I'm very excited for this. And I feel very passionately that this movie is going to be great. And so it should take the time that it needs to succeed. That being said, I have seen movies suffer in the past, of course, from being too long because people are too close to the project and they don't know what to cut. And the lack of editing sometimes makes a looser product. I don't think that's what's happening here. It sounds like there's a lot of story to tell and a lot of characters to get through. If you even just think about the fact that we've got the Riddler and Penguin, and we are really going to be deep diving into a different crew. Like it's not just a one villain story. And Catwoman, and it's the Cat in the Bat trailer made us think that this is heavily about Catwoman as well, and not just about Batman. I'm looking forward to every single second of this movie, so it's not bothering me. But I did see a lot of negative feedback online as well. Saw a lot of people pushing back on the runtime already. And to those people, I would say, see the movie first and see. See the movie first and see. But, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And if you're not excited for the Batman movie, you can put your money where your mouth is and not see it. And that will speak loudly to the studios. Or you could watch it and then make up your mind, which is probably what I think most people are going to do. What do you guys think at home? It's not like Hangover 4 got an announcement of a 2 hour, 55-minute runtime. Comedy, I feel like comedies at that length, that would be like fucking awful. But it's the Batman movie. And so this works for me. What y'all think? What y'all know about me? What you know about me? Said my lip gloss is popping. Batman's lip gloss is cool. All the girls keep stopping. They see me after school. Neil Hansock says it's still 2 2.25 hours shorter than the Snyder cut, so it'll fly by. Oh, no, he just meant a fourth. Yeah, but that we did get to watch at home, and I understand the point about being able to watch things at home that Glenn made. It does make it easier to get up, go somewhere, do something, stretch your legs, pause it, pee. The 3-hour movies, you have to pee right the fuck before, because especially if you're like me and you drink a tea in the movie theater or water or a slushie or a soda or anything, when you drink a whole thing in the 3-hour movie, it's a pee time. And I do not get up to pee during movies, like almost ever. I think I did it during the last fucking Fantastic Beasts because I hated it so much, but I very, very rarely do this. Also, this movie is not coming for a couple of months, the Batman movie, and hopefully the state of the nation and the world are in a much better place by then. But as of right now, we're in a massive Omicron surge. So when there's a longer movie, there's less showings of the movie, sometimes more packed movie theaters. So we'll see how this works. Let me know your thoughts. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Would love to hear from all of you guys. In the Streamlabs, we've got Ryan Payne who says, are people really bothered by the runtime? The runtime of the Nolan trilogy were over 2 hours. Dark Knight, 2 hour, 20 minutes. That was Batman Begins. Dark Knight, 2 hour, 32 minutes. Rises was 2 hour, 47 minutes. 247, and this is 255 because that was 247 with credits, right? This is why we don't trust fans and fandom, the entitlement. I know I feel you on that, but that was a trilogy, and I don't mean but, period. I feel you on that. Also, though, that was a trilogy that started at 2 hour, 20 minutes, and then we got to know somebody and you kind of trusted them more and you trusted Nolan more. I already trusted Reeves, and I already trusted the character Batman, so I'm in on that. But some people might wish that it was a little more of a toe dip than a saga, but we don't even know that we're going to get the Batman 2, because we don't know what story is being told completely. Logan James Canaston says in the Streamlabs, I remember you mentioning Monster a lot, which is why I'm watching that next. To answer your question, now that you've mentioned Coda, I might watch that too, as I've heard amazing things. I'll be thinking about Promising Young Woman for weeks. So fucking good. Yeah, it's really fucking good. Really good. Well, my favorite movie of all time is obviously Good Will Hunting. I talk about that all the time. Movies that stand out in the last couple of years. Sound of Metal was so fucking great. I loved the movie Life Itself. It has 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't understand, but damn Folkman, it like touched my whole soul. That movie touched my whole soul, and everybody fucking hates it, but I love that movie. I'll think of other ones that I like that maybe some people don't, and see if I can recommend them to you. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send in your questions, comments, concerns, as we are getting out of here in 10 minutes. Glenn Caesar says, oh yeah, 2 hours, 55 minutes. Even if it was 5 hours, LOL, ain't stopping me from watching the Batman. Me too. I mean, I'm all about that nerd shit all day or a day. It just means more time for me to geek out and have a really good time. So yeah. Anyway, let's fucking go. Yeah, of course, the downside is if this movie's not good, then it's 3 hours of not good. But from what we've seen, I cannot imagine a world in which this movie is bad. I can imagine a world in this movie isn't better than The Dark Knight, but I can't imagine a world in which this movie is bad. From what we've seen, there's just no fucking way. It just has too many great parts, and it's too solid. Too many good performers and all the pieces. So I just can't picture it not being good. Let's talk Lizzie McGuire. Send in your Streamlabs in the meantime, but we're going to talk a little Lizzie McGuire because we heard the announcement at D23 years ago that Lizzie McGuire revival was happening. And it was my favorite thing that came out of that year. We heard all this stuff about what was happening with Star Wars and what was going to be happening with Marvel. But Hilary Duff taking the stage and saying that Lizzie McGuire was coming back, I was like, fuck yes, this is for me. This is my moment. Then we heard there were script issues and filming issues and that it wasn't working. And then the revival was dead in the water. I was super duper bummed about that, as I'm sure any of you Lizzie McGuire fans were. I have a feeling this isn't necessarily a Lizzie McGuire crew I'm talking to right now, but if you guys love me, then you care about this. So when it was canceled, it seemed like there had been big disputes between Hilary Duff and Disney. And so I was curious what had happened. And she kind of talked a little bit about this as she's doing press for How I Met Your Father. And it seems what we thought happened was exactly what happened. She said that in the revival, quote, my character was moving back home with her parents because she caught her soon-to-be fiance cheating on her. And she was falling flat on her face at the moment and being like, I need to pivot because everything that I thought wasn't, and I'm turning 30, which sounds like a very relatable story as I feel her, and thinking what wasn't, and turning 30 and your ex having fucked you over hard and lied to you and you didn't know, and then you have to fucking reassess your whole life. That sounds like a story that a lot of people can relate to. So I think that sounds great. But she says that when asked if she ever considered leaking the revival episode, she admitted I would be lying if I didn't say I didn't have those thoughts a few times. And then she said, there's a time and a place for everything. It just wasn't her moment. I'm constantly asked about it. And all it does is breathe life into the fact that people still want it. And it's really sweet. It's not dead. It's not alive. And she talks about, then she says that she, at the time, the big disagreement was she said it would be doing a disservice to everyone by limiting the realities of a 30-year-old's journey to live under the ceiling of a PG rating. So this was about the fact that they didn't feel comfortable with the content. And I agree with her that you can't really have a 30-year-old's journey and a PG rating and have it be any kind of relatable story, because her audience isn't 13-year-olds right now. It's the me's of the world that are obsessed with Lizzie McGuire and grew up on that shit. And so I thought that I'm totally on her team on this. I can't believe, but I know that Disney doesn't always like content that's a little more provocative. But yeah, the Huffington Post headline was Hilary Duff reveals plot of Scrap Lizzie McGuire. Revival was too racy for Disney. And that sounds about right for Disney, but it's just not. It doesn't, even though Disney didn't want to do that. I get why Hilary Duff wouldn't want to do a PG version of a 30-year-old, because she was teaching us life lessons when we were kids. And now we've grown up with her. And now she's 30. And the life lessons now are about when somebody cheats on you or lies to you or leaves you or moving back home with your family, which a lot of you guys had to do with in the pandemic, or losing your job or falling flat on your face. Those are the lessons. Those are the things we're interested in. And if that's too racy because it's not all best of both worlds, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, it's not all Disney-y, then what's the point of the story? Who's it for? Because it's not Gen Z that wants to watch a 30-year-old on TV live their life. It's the millennials. So I'm bummed that this isn't happening, but I would rather see no Lizzie McGuire reboot than a Lizzie McGuire reboot that tries to make a PG version of a 30-year-old who's just going through a divorce after being cheated on. That makes no sense to me. What do you guys think? Was anybody disappointed that this was gone? Does this make sense to everybody? Does everybody still want to see it? Maybe one day, if she can do How I Met Your Father for Hulu, and that one has a little more raunch to it, then why not this? I would love to see it. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Only here a couple more minutes. Getting your questions, comments, concerns. I have a few shows I want to touch on. You guys tell me what you're watching this week, but just brief overviews. Too Hot to Handle was 10. It's 10 episodes. It is 50-minute episodes. I went through the whole thing, and this is perfect mindless television. If you want bullshit of not so people who are sexually frustrated, and it just makes you cannot relate to. I can relate to being sexually frustrated, but you can't relate to the scenarios they're in. What they're saying makes no sense to me. If you are like, what the fuck? I love to watch things that I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's perfect for background TV. Throw that shit on. You will slam through it. It's fucking great. I'm a few minutes left in the 4th Peacemaker episode. It's the strongest yet, I think. I'm loving this intro, and I think Peacemaker, which I started by saying I thought was solid, I think it's become very good, very good. And there's some qualms I have with it, but in general, I'm loving watching it. And I think it's definitely worth any of your time if you're a James Gunn fan or a fan of kind of, I don't even want to call him an anti-hero, but villainous characters that have a little bit of a soft side to them. I'm really enjoying that. Book of Boba Fett had its strongest episode for sure. Anybody watching Book of Boba Fett, how did you guys feel about episode 4? I really like anything that has to do with Fennec, so it's just like, give me more of this duo. I love going back. I love the story that we heard in this, and it made me excited. It also looks so fucking good. Okay, sometimes I just stop. I'm staring at Book of Boba Fett, and I'm like, how are they doing this? This must be so expensive. Like the vast sceneries is just so fucking crazy to look at. Yeah, so I really like this episode. I know people are really hating the show. A lot of people are, but I like the show. I thought episode 1 was meh. I loved episode 2. I thought episode 3 was meh. And I loved episode 4. So it's not like it's knocking it out of the park every time for me, but in general, I am enjoying this, and I love Boba Fett. So we're spending a lot of time with Boba Fett. So I'm stoked about that. And we're getting to know more about what happened with Boba Fett and what did other people think happened with Boba Fett and all of that. So I'm very much enjoying that. And then just to fill that sultry, sweet place in my heart, This Is Us is doing a great job this season again of sticking with some of the times and pulling on our heartstrings and hot topic issues. And I'm nervous because we know certain couples don't end up together in the future. So I already feel bad about that. And you're watching it kind of take place. And there was this one thing that happened this week that I thought was really fucking interesting, though. And I started thinking about this in life. And they were talking about how the strongest shape in how you think when you grow up, you build these houses out of blocks and you think the strongest shape is a square, but it's not. The strongest shape is a triangle because nothing can really penetrate that. Whatever. It was this beautiful moment. I'll tell you guys more about the analogy later, but anybody who watched, you know what I'm talking about. And that really fucking worked for me. Really fucking worked for me. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Get them in, guys. Get in that support. Your girl could use it. Plus, she's earned it. I really think that's true. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Glenn Caesar says, thank you, Roxy, Rockstars, and everyone who's battling for choosing to. Thanks for showing up and being support for the people around you whenever, however you can. Light a candle. Doing so, even when it's tough, makes you a winner. When you win, we all win. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Y'all know that's how it works. Glenn also says, I hope you remember to say to yourself, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm fully unique, I'm good people. I'm worthy, my story is important, deserves to be seen and heard. I don't know why I said good people. Being kind, caring, and fully unique makes you humane, worthy, and a cozy fire to be near. I see you. I see you guys. I hope you live in serenity and actually get to see and feel and perceive and infuse the yellow colored and green colored energies and sparkles of happiness and joy manifesting in your day-to-day life today, tomorrow, and beyond. Be you always and in all ways. Thank you for that, Sir Glenn Caesar. You're the fucking best. As I'm getting out of here, let me know if you have any TV recommendations for me other than the ones that I said that I'm just watching. Let me know how you feel about the runtime of the Batman. Let me know how you're feeling about Hilary Duff clarifying what happened with the Lizzie McGuire revival or anything else. Streamlabs and Super Chat. And if you're watching after the fact, don't forget to leave a comment. I read all of them. I love seeing what it is you guys have to say. I appreciate you for doing so. And it makes me feel closer to y'all. So send in those things. And thank you everyone for being here live. I know times are tough for a lot of people. So shout out to everyone. Helsing, Glenn Caesar, Kenya Lozis, Joseph Ashley, Geekicidal Tendencies, Manny Gonzalez, John Bainbridge, Melissa Byrne, Sam Red, Jeremy Miller, Vince Rinaldi, Jake Iacovetta, Paolo Tutio, Ivan Soto, Murderanta, John Bainbridge, Ryan Payne, Thunder God Cairo, Andrew W., all the people, Brittany Parker, Greg, Loudy Ferdinand, Steve Cauldron, and everybody else, Waffle eBay 12. I don't even understand, but I like it. Stormy Wood. You guys are fucking great. So thank you for being here. So much love. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want those flumes. Don't trump with the Holocaust. Brett Miles, Jonathan, the rest of the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Everybody put that good, positive energy out there for me and for everybody else today. Feel like it's going to be a fucking hell of a ride we're on in the next month, but I'm enjoying going through it with you guys. Thank you for being here for me. Hopefully I can be here for you all. And I will see you on Only Stupid Answers tomorrow morning and then here tomorrow afternoon live at the Roxy. Later.